Hello, everyone, and welcome to ZSR Main. Tonight we've got another match of the Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup 2024. We've got a match in Group F. This is our last regular match of the group stage between crazdgamer and Amarith. I'm starting with me on comms as Talon. How are you doing?
Hey, good evening, everyone. Yeah, happy to do another comms race for the Challenge Cup 2024. And luckily, we have another one that's got a little something on the line.
Just a little bit here. This is crazdgamer and Amarith. This is Group F. So you might have caught us restreaming Amarith versus Echo last night for this group as well. For those who might not know or don't remember, this is an interesting group here. Let's see. So in this group, Ivy Karma is confirmed first place with who he went 6-0. Echo is 0-6. crazdgamer is currently 2-3, and Amarith is 3-2. If we're looking at a challenge, it's a little bit out of date. So the long and short of it is, if Amarith wins tonight, she moves on 2 brackets in the second spot of the group. If crazdgamer wins, they're going to a third game. Due to the way the tiebreakers work in this tournament, since both runners would be at 3-3. So we'll see what happens tonight here. Got an open seed, so very, very simple mode. Nothing too wacky there. It's your regular 7 crystals, no key sanity, no entrance rando, just 7 crystals, clear GT, and go beat Ganon.
Yeah, just a simple open mode. Nothing ever bad ever come of that, right?
Yeah,
right?
They definitely did have a very interesting seed last night. I'll say that. Amarith and Echo did have a open seed last night as well, and we've seen some interesting seeds in the tournament overall. We were chatting about that a bit before the race started. I did start a little late, and I mildly mismathed the countdown timer, so I've got a little bit of time here. We've got ourselves on the left. We have I think that's Celis from FF6 for the Crazy Ace Attorney Chronicles MSU. I still have no idea what the Amarith sprite is. She was using it the same one last night. Still no clue what it is, but that is the Crypt of the Necrodancer MSU.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. We're just gonna say it's nice. It's nice.
It is some kind of foxy sprite. That's all I can comment on. But anything particular you might want to see in this scene? We're discussing a little bit among other things about how vanilla items can be a real misery in this randomizer.
Yeah, I'd like to see no vanilla major progression items, please. I want rando in my rando.
Yep. Vanilla items are often some of the worst places to find items, such as vanilla hammer or a vanilla. Well, either glove being vanilla can be kind of miserable. And you really don't want a vanilla cane.
Yeah, things like vanilla cane and vanilla hookshot are just awful. I will have none of this in this. Thank you very much.
And watch as we proceed to commentate to curse that exact thing into existence. But we'll see here.
I will accept vanilla mitts, but that's all.
As please do give here, but chat's Oro in chat wants a pyramid moon pearl for fun. That would be something. We've seen some interesting moon pearls this tournament. That one's always a classic, and then you have to go do Echo Tower. Part of me, it just makes me think of this is a really, really rare edge case. I've only seen it once, and it was for the CC. Must have been 2.5 years ago now, I think. I think it was the 2022 Challenge Cup, where Hammer on Pyramid Fairy is always interesting to get stuck with. Because that also requires either an Aga Tower or a bomb beam if you know it to get that particular check, and that's without a hammer, and that's always interesting. But we're shooting off here shortly. Let's see what this seat's got for us.
Right, nice early divergence. We have Amarith going to start with Link's house as crazdgamer goes for the sync start.
Oh, both red crystals in Light World. We've got red crystal Eastern and Hera and Desert, and regular crystal Eastern.
Yeah, having a nice crystal layout in the Light World could make for a pretty fast potential Dark World if some of the more progressive item heavy dungeons are pendants.
Yep, we'll see. As $20 for Amarith. Both runners looking for bomb jobs and getting no luck on that front right now. Oh, nice to say that there's Uncle giving us some bombs, and I think that's a heart container on Lumberjack.
It looks like they're trying to set up maybe a higher tier tree pull. Maybe pull some more bombs, maybe just force the front of escape now.
Yeah, Amarith actually did the same last night in that she did start with Uncle and went to the map chest and then could not continue further without explosives that time. Or any other weaponry. So she might do a similar play here, so get a bug net for Crazed.
Oh good, we can beat Aga 1 now.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I care a lot for this play of going Hyrule Castle early the way we've seen the past 2 nights in a row for Amarith. It didn't pay off tonight. It wasn't ideal either last night, so she's not going to pay out with much, but she is going to take those bombs down to the dam next.
Yeah, there's something to be saying. Yeah, I started Uncle, so I'm going to try to push Hyrule Castle as much as I can. Because that's kind of the big curse with starting with Uncle, is you're leaving the allure of Hyrule Castle. Like, you have to double dip or double back to get it, or you're just not including it at all. So it's kind of forcing that. I'm leaving as little behind as possible. But yeah, it is quite the time sink.
It is. Nothing much in Blindside, just a blue mail there. And chat let me know how audio is. I can't really check as I can't actually listen to the Crypt of the Necrodancer MSU without a terrible headache. And next we're going to see heading over to Agina here from Amarith, which I guess makes a kind of sense since she's gone South Shore and really doesn't have the equipment to go do a mini Mulroom Cave as we get just a lamp in the well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to make the most of this play of finding something before going to Kakariko. And if they were to pull something like a flute or a bottle, it could make that a little more valuable. But yeah, really just not getting the resources to make full use of this route.
No, as we see, nothing on the Desert Ledge there. And first sword in the chicken hut is probably the best item we've gotten so far today. Are cheering on in chat the idea of a Pyramid Moon Pearl, which is possible. We are a second sword or a cape away from Aga access, as we see nothing on the library, and Amarith's gone off to Eastern for more interesting plays. Or at least Saha said. I don't know if she'll actually go into Eastern with this equipment.
Yeah, with knowing that Eastern is a crystal, maybe not the move you want to make. You know, now they know. But I mean, again, same thing. If you're trying to make the most of this putting off Kakariko play, you might just do it.
Yeah. And Crazed is himself going to head on over to Hyrule Castle, but does have a sword and a lamp, so can clear this out.
That was a very rough Saha's hut.
Yeah, unfortunately, Amarith is. It can be an interesting play here to do this kind of play where I was wanting to get a find something your opponent might not get for a bit and improve CAC efficiency. But that just wasn't a productive 5 minutes, unfortunately, for Amarith. With that said, we don't have a lot of obvious progression right this second. Sword and lamp being our real items of use don't open a ton.
Yeah, actually, most of the checks we've seen have been relatively useless. You can chalk it up basically to lamp and sword, and everything else can just take it. So it's been pretty rough.
Yeah, which, so we've got, what? The front of most of Eastern, aside from the boss, obviously. Most of Eastern, a couple more checks here and escape. We'll see if we get the small key to do the back. Yeah, Eastern, rest of escape. Mini Moldor, Ice Rock Cave.
Yeah. What's going to feel bad is that there is something in Eastern that Amarith could have pulled out that would have helped out or been progression.
Absolutely. I get why she didn't continue there after Saha, because I think she only had 2 bombs at the time, and it would have absolutely not been worth going in there with that equipment, but... Okay, so no small key so far. It's either in Dark Cross or in the back here. And I think in Craze's position you might want to see a small key so you can just do all of it, but at the same time maybe you want to not have to think about it because it's a bit of a trip to the back.
Yeah, I think already having lamp, if you find the small key here or in Dark Cross, you're feeling like, alright, we're just going to do this.
Yep. This Blue Mill for Amarith.
I'm not sad seeing that 300 either, having not even gone near the Zora area. That kind of sets you up for that as well.
Yeah, not in logic, but it might not be a unreasonable play after South Shore for Crazed if he finds not much over there.
Yeah,
the dam was pretty useless.
Yeah, with the limited resources we've seen and very much lack of progression, it may be one of those you're forced into it whether you like it or not.
Yeah, for sure. And that is our small key to go to the back. I don't think we've seen the map yet. So I think there's 2 items in the map in the back, as our tracker Tamil Talk is... Yes, we are a sword, or alternatively a cape from doing Angle 1. And if that is our next progression, our runners, we're probably going to be a bit bad.
I will take your book on Pyramid Ledge for Pearl and Desert.
Okay, our only pack of escape is our next technically major item in the form of a bottle.
Amarith's gonna blind check the race game. It's as limited as Kakariko was. This doesn't surprise me, but not gonna be really happy with what they find here either.
No, but it makes sense. She's already done a lot of the loose end overworld checks before coming to Keg, and she knows there's not a lot left.
An impressive 8 hearts already for Amarith.
We do have a lot of health. But then again, I suppose they must have had to find something in the 20-odd checks they've done in the first 10 minutes, given that it's not major items for the most part. And speaking of hearts, that's heart 6 for Crazed. And our runners, despite all their varying routing, are converging here on Mini Moldorm Cave.
I was just thinking that for the diversity of routing that our runners have shown, the only difference between them is a bottle. It's so crazy.
Functionally, yes, you are correct. I don't know how that bomb managed to miss both Mini Moldorms there for Craze.
Yeah, that was the white bomb exploding in the air. Okay, something. There we go.
Hey, a glove. That is mountain access for a whopping 2 checks.
It's actually really good for Amarith too. They won't have to trek all the way through the front of Escape to get that bottle or anything in the back now. Can just pull up the headstone and go.
Yeah, that'll be nice for her. And yes, auras and logic. But both runners do have enough money for Zora, if only just barely for Amarith with 504, which I wouldn't be terribly surprised if both runners do a fake flipper, though they also can't actually do Waterfall Fairy right now. No equipment for an Ancilla fake flipper, and no Moon Pearl. It does look like both runners are going to go do exactly that here as they walk out.
Yeah, I can see the appeal of not doing Zora because you can't do Waterfall and kind of like leaving those items grouped together until you can do them all. But again, it's just been so sparse lately. I think if you could have the ability to do a fake flipper right now, I think you have to.
Mm-hmm. Redvale on Lake Island, and Christ is not even going to check Hobo here. Just an interesting play as Amarith finds... Okay, just some money. And bombs on Zora Ledge, so that's at least one thing we don't have to worry about coming back for later. And that is true, auras, all that we're just looking for. It feels like we're just looking for the one spot where there's a cape / sword for Aga access, so you'd be nervous about skipping anything in logic. Yeah, that's true as well. We are that low on checks. We've got this, couple items in Eastern, a couple items on the mountain, and that's... And Sick Kid, because Sora's a scam, again.
This start is rough.
This really, really is. We're 14 minutes in. We've got a cape, we've got a sword, we've got a lamp, and we've got a glove. And that's about it for significant items. We're gonna see Craze go up the mountain next, trying to put off Eastern, I think, hoping to find a bow, which makes sense given it's a crystal and he has a lamp already. And it is possible that the bow is our next progression item for something on Armos. How to get that puzzle out of the back of escape. Mitts? Which I actually opened up exactly nothing for us right now, but those are required. Nothing in Spec Rock. Didn't catch the item on Spec Rock.
Oh, the item on Spec Rock was a sword.
Oh, that's an interesting thing. Okay. Well, that'll be something to pick up later, but right now, sadly, we can't pick it up either. So it's off to Eastern for Craze, which I think is a... No, okay, for him there's a couple more checks, but for us that is as a race stream our last location because Sick Kid's junk.
Yeah, if Sick Kid would have had something interesting like the mirror, that'd have made some real questionable ideas of what to do with the mountain in that sword then.
Yeah, because Sword would open up Aga, but also that just opens up all of the rest of Light Death Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Ha! And Crazed is not going Eastern.
Gonna go, what, turn the bottle in? Dude, it's the rando curse of just, I don't want to dip a dungeon if I'm one item away from finishing it. So they're hoping to do a couple of these one-offs and potentially find a bow.
Unfortunately, Eastern with 2 items available is... Well, I guess for him, tied with a desert area. No, that actually just the densest area left in the game for him.
Yeah, and you could have access to all 3 depending on where the dungeon items are sitting.
Yeah, that's true as well. As Amarith picks up Hermit. And this is Agina for Craze.
Yeah, so again, for all the weird diversity we had between our runners at the start, they're basically going to be at parity, with, assumably, Amarith going to Eastern first.
I'd assume so, because I believe this is her last check besides that. Amarith is in fact so low on checks, she is going to do a blind check of the item inside Spec Rock and find it's just a bluebee. Oh wait, no, I forgot Amarith hasn't done right, because Amarith did the first unclone the first test of escape but had no weaponry to continue, so that's where she's going.
Yep.
So Craze will be our first runner to Eastern today. Yeah, Amarith will be able to skip Dark Cross, but this double dip of escape is more or less about the thing that's going to put her a little bit behind Craze getting to Eastern here. And they're discussing the trolliness of vanilla items. I would not entirely be surprised to see a vanilla bow in here.
Yeah, I definitely could see a bow in here. It could just be as easy as the Pearl, go to Dark World, and start exploring all your fun options. It could be something silly like a mirror or a hook shot to put more of the mountain in logic. There's lots of options sitting in here.
Could be a book.
Yeah, book's a great shout. Could be a sword or a cape. Like, there's lots of possibilities.
Yeah, there is.
Boots
And
would be another one.
Our tracker Tom has a point that Mirror would get as a sword. True.
Yep, great point.
The first check was the big key.
And Amarith realizing Dark Cross has to be the small key is out.
Yep. I mean, they're not wrong. I can isn't dead until I say it is, lol. Yeah, I mean, as a researcher, we do need to consider all possibilities for what this seed can throw at us, such as a hard-required attack. It won't be for the lumberjack item, but that doesn't mean we won't need it for something else. The second chest of Eastern was also useless. And the third is, technically a major item, but one that does exactly nothing for us right now.
So yeah, then the last item in Eastern has to be it, right? It's got to be something.
And
Okay.
there it is. There's our mirror.
Back to the mountain with you.
Yep.
Which is kind of rust, because Amarith could have had that when they were over... Well, I mean, honestly, Crazed could too when they came and checked Saha, because where it was really didn't require a lamp or killing any enemies that the room didn't provide pots for. It was pretty free.
Yeah, but neither runner wanted to dip Eastern without a bow, and, well... Ike, this is open. Regular, straight up open. No keys, no entrance random, it's just, finding items, go beat Ganon, and that's it. The problem today is finding Ganon. Or finding items. Yeah, we can find Ganon, that's fine. It's not entrance random, but we're having a hard time finding our items. Green pendant TR, pendant swamp, pendant ice.
Okay, Pendant TR does reduce our required items slightly, but still gonna need that flute and Samaria for Mire.
Yep. We'll need a nice run at least, which is something. And there's the big key as the first check of Hera. And this. It'd be interesting if Amarith abandoned Heron went straight to Aga. It would certainly be a play as we get the map for Crazed. I wouldn't do so for Amarith's position, as Paradox is a lot of checks and Hera's a completable crystal, but yes, in theory, you could, Oro.
Well, without a hammer or a hookshot, they're not getting to Paradox anyway. It's just Hera.
Oh yeah, I forgot we can't get to East Death Mountain. Whoops! Thank you for correction. Small key there in the big chest for Craze, which does mean that we have an item in the basement today. And at the rate we're going, I would go get it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
And first crystal for Crazed, as well as... Oh, come on, game! Okay, fine. We're gonna go turn into mushroom, I guess.
Nice bomb drop there by Amarith.
Yep. Saving a little time on Crazed, who didn't quite manage to get it. Oh, and Crazed not quite getting the strat to stand on the switch, so it's just gonna go and run around, take a room, I guess, of it. Okay, chat confirming having a discussion over whether or not it is actually possible to get a fully vanilla seed in rando, and the answer is it actually is impossible because of pod key logic. Isn't quite sure on that.
All right, is this a pearl, or are we gonna go turn the mushroom in?
It's a root mushroom. Okay,
so
Gabe.
Here's the question: do you go turn the mushroom in, or do you just go push Aga 1 at this point?
I think you have to turn in the shroom.
I think you have to turn it in too, because even if you just go Aga 1 and it is the pearl, you're only going to pod. You can't do anything else.
No, when you don't.
Well, I mean, you can do you can do catfish. My apologies.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oro in chat I think has an idea too. You do just with the mirror, you do Aga 1, then pearl into the mushroom turn in.
Yeah, mushroom into catfish, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, it's very possible, but ugh. Yo, what a slog! These runners have got to be just. Where is my stuff?
Absolutely. This has been one of the driest starts I've seen in a minute.
Yeah, here's all this weird utility that gets you nowhere right now.
I know, right? And there it is.
There it
Pearl
is.
on the shroom, finally.
Logic chain to get there. Good lum.
Yeah, you needed a glove from any Moldorm cave, you needed a lamp from the well, you needed your mirror from the eastern big key chest to go up the mountain to get your mushroom from Moldorm to go turn it in for a moon pearl.
Tracker Tom is just holding on to the Aga dream at this point. Logically, still not dead.
Technically no, because I did mention this before the race started, as there is the incredibly rare edge case of Pyramid Fairy having a hammer, which requires either Aggo or a very obscure bomb dupe that really doesn't come up just about ever, because it doesn't happen. We do, however, have a bit, since that was on the old man, so we can go into the Village of Outcasts here, which is where Crazed is. Yes, Amarith is gonna also basically last location to Spoon Pearl, and that's an ice rod we don't want, game!
Okay, Tempered Sword. We like Tempered Sword. We're fans of Tempered Sword in this.
That is nice, yeah, it makes combat a lot easier.
All right, Craig's gonna go ahead and dip into Themestown, can beat the boss, but maybe leaving an item behind depending on how our items in the dungeon are spread out. So we'll have to see.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see here. Big key in the first chest. And we do have a little bit of music swap. We're switching up to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles MSU now as we get a hookshot in Thieves.
Great item. Even with a pendant swamp, you're going to want that if you can't do any kind of hovering, as yeah, I can't. So I'm always a fan of finding the hookshot as early as possible.
Yeah. That is also our East at Mountain access.
Yeah, that's a great point. It'd be interesting to see if either runner with that hookshot decides to go back up the mountain and check all that's up there, even especially with the mitts, can do even more.
Yeah, East at Mountain and also East Dark World access, logically. That's not beating Aga. Or, no, I'm thinking of going in the wrong direction, never mind. We have logical East Dark World access, but it's beating Aga, which neither runner wants to do right now. Amarith's just following Crazed for now, not really much. Well, as I say that, it looks like he's gonna go do Smith Chain.
Yeah, Amarith's not wanting to go into Thieves Town potentially without the hammer, so gonna do some overworld routing first.
Yep. Yeah, gonna do Race Game. And yes, that was a red boomerang in the front of Thieves Town for Crazed. I haven't been counting, but that is a lot of digs here on this dig game. All for 300 bucks.
I think they got right to the 30 or darn close.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's see. ER's. I think. Is that 3 or 4 items in Thieves Town? Because we've seen the red boomerang, we've seen the hookshot, we just saw 10 arrows, and I can't remember if we've seen a 4th.
No, I haven't seen a 4th one yet.
Okay. Looks like Amarith is going to do purple chest before Thieves Town. Really doesn't want to go to Thieves Town at Hammer, it appears. This is quite a long ways to walk, although can at least route Smith Chain. Not Smith Chain. She's doing Smith Chain. Can route K45 Stumpy and Hype Cave with it. And I just totally missed what Blind Cell was. Oops. Arrows, I think. Okay, Tom. In which case, I think we've seen all 4 items in Thieves Town, and we don't have to worry about the big chest. The small key might be locked inside itself. Yeah, I think the small key has to be locking itself at this point.
Yeah, the small key cannot be on blind in this type of mode set, so it had to have been locked in itself, so we're good.
Yep. And that is Crystal 2 for Crazed. Nothing on Stumpy either for Amarith.
Smith Chain just being a complete waste of time, per normal.
Yep, rough Smith Chain in its junk. Skip it for half an hour, for 2 hours, and then you end up being a big grumpy.
Yeah, skip it, it's your fire rod. Do it, it's rupees.
We'll see if Hype Cave lives up to its name, as Craze is going to go to a whole lot of digs for nothing.
It has to, right? Like, where's all our stuff?
Odd.
Yeah.
We have Daga access. We
Okay,
have access to the way of Daga.
Yeah. East Mountain. Okay, nice flute.
Flute, which gets his Mire area access.
Well, it gets you desert, too.
Yeah, Mire and desert. Okay.
Yep, Mitzmere. You have a fire source. As long as it's not Boots Lock Big Key, you're good to go.
Nope. And we have... Oh, Amarith doesn't, but Craze has a hookshot to go do Thieves... Mire with, although we don't have a chain.
Yeah.
Because I imagine Craze is just going to do the same route with Smith's Chain, do Hype Cave, and then go do Mire Desert.
Yeah, I think East Mountain is really the pushing play right now.
Yeah, I would definitely go check that, because there's a lot of checks over there, especially with... Because they can do all of Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny, too.
Neither runner did the front of Skull Woods. It'd be interesting if there's anything just kind of hanging out there.
That would be rude. We're not going to see it for a while, but that would be rude.
Amarith's coming back to this area and then going into Thievestown might dip in. Or not.
I think with that hookshot, she probably will skip it.
Well, they don't have it yet, because it's in Thievestown.
True.
That's what I was saying. Coming back to do Thievestown, they may just go into Skullwoods now, but... Nope, gotta take the flute and see where it goes. I like this play.
Yeah. And talking about that game, chat apparently did count for Crazed, and that was a full 30 digs.
Gross. So seeing Ether for the Mire entrance.
Okay. Amarith's not missing anything by switching and Hammer for Thievestown, not for right now, but Hookshot Cave could have progression for us. Even if we can't get into Mire just yet, assuming the Ether isn't just right here. And we're boots locked out of desert.
We just can't have anything nice.
Apparently not, no, in this seed. Here's the flute incoming for Crazed as Amarith heads for the village of outcasts to go to Thievestown, and we'll see if she takes a look in Skull Woods.
Yeah, the scene is really lining up to be extremely linear. Go to this one thing, which leads only to this one thing, which leads only to this one thing. It's going to be hard if one of our runners really falls behind for them to kind of scrap back if this continues.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so we're gonna take a look at these for Amarith. Hookshot's in the front of the, not front of these for Amarith right now. She's in front of Skull Woods because Brains quit. Hookshot is in the front of Thievestown for real, though. Is trolling Amarith a little here in this room. Grace is just gonna go straight up the mountain. Probably wants boots, okay, and maybe another medallion for Desert Mire area, which makes sense.
Oh, come on, you can get through their game. What is that? That was shady.
Game says, nope, you're gonna get stuck, Grace. Flippers is an interesting find for Amarith. Not necessarily required, but that is an item.
Yeah, no, we don't want those. No runner in this scene wants to see the flippers because both of those dungeons are pendants. So you can just go your whole life and never see the flippers and be fine. Now you have access to them.
And she did get both items out of Skullwoods. The other was junk, so she is out of there. So get there's a hammer, paradox, and burn up. Okay.
Yeah, Spike Cave's a thing now.
I was about to say. And I'm sorry, Tomotalk, but Yaga 1 is very good right now.
Sorry, man. Rip.
Also, Butter and Cape. Okay, game. And Bombos. There's all our items, apparently.
Yeah, those flippers just got a little more interesting now, too, with that Bombos just sitting there.
Yeah. Yeah, because that is now now Ice Palace access, which is something. What's it? 1, 2, 4, 5 out of 7 items in Paradox are major items. That's a little silly, game. The true hype came in this seed, in a sense. As Amarith is not going catfish. Okay, just gonna go straight to Pyramid Ledge. And Half Magic and Super Bunny Cave.
Half Magic, yeah! Half Magic's great.
It really is. Well, Chad was saying Fire Rod found but can't acquire. I didn't actually catch where that might have been peaked or not.
I think it was on Bumper Ledge, and now that Craze has the cape, if they ever go scout it.
Yep. Which is actually mildly annoying because you'd like to route it with checking Skull Woods, perhaps, except for, of course, you need to Fire Rod 4 Skull Woods. And TR is also confirmed to be Ether, which isn't a bad thing. That's the one down we don't have, and I'd rather not look in TR right now, since we do have a Ice Rod. And a second bobble, which is the only thing in Hookshot Cave. And Amarith is now going back for Catfish. Might mirror here to go check Waterfall Fairy with it. Since she has those flippers now, and Catfish is drunk as usual. Okay. Booking a blue boomerang in Waterfall Fairy. Book, no, well, boomerang does nothing. Book, opens up the tablets, and that's about it, since we have desert access by way of a mirror now.
Yeah, Amarith seems to really just be hard committing to, I'm not going into Thieves Town without a hammer. It's got to be somewhere. But at this point, it clearly is the hookshot that they need to have.
Hookshot hard locks this hammer today, yes, because hammer is in Paradox Cave, though Amarith doesn't know that.
Yeah, and kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier, this scene being as linear as it is really gonna make it difficult for Amarith to try to even up if this continues.
Yeah, like she's trying to make some more unconventional plays, like skipping Thieves Town until she can find a hammer, doing the very interesting skip cack for as long as possible route in the early game. And, well, the skip cack for as long as possible route didn't end up hurting too badly just because of where that Moon Pearl ended up, but the current routing really isn't working out for Amarith. Wraith is going to go into Skullwoods, find the flippers, not find a fire rod, leave, and probably find the fire rod immediately and go, okay, game. Really?
Yeah, and then afterwards can come back in, like you said, and finish Skullwoods, but then has a very interesting decision to make. Do you dip pod, or do you do one of the other two pendant dungeons that require flippers that you now can beat in logic?
Crazed hasn't been to my area. That's where I would be going next after this.
Oh yeah, good shout. Then after that...
After that, we'll see, yeah, because Crazed is not going to be able to do anything in... is not going to be able to do anything in the Desert Mire area that Amarith couldn't do. Yeah, because we've seen both items in Skullwoods, and Craze doesn't have anything new to do the Mire Desert area with. Hookshot acquired for Amarith. Craze is about to be a little cranky with his Fire Rod, probably. It's always rude when you go into a dungeon missing an item and then leave and find the item you need immediately afterwards. It's like, oh, come on, game. Where was that 5 seconds ago? Yeah, I'm not sure where you go next though after Mire Desert for Crazed, because yeah, Pod is... Was that Pod without a bow not the most appealing play? Pendant Swamp and Pendant Ice are also not great.
Yeah, it's, do you do pendants that you can beat, or do you go into pod that you can't, but it's a crystal, so you risk double dipping? Like, it's rough either way.
Yeah. We at least have a flute to get to Pod a little quicker, but you'd also probably like to route Pod and Eastern together.
I'll put you on the spot, Star. What do you do? Like, pick.
That's a good question. I'd probably dip into Pod still, but...
Yeah, I think I dip into pod as well, with the hope of I find a bow while I'm there, and it leads me to what I want. And even if it's bow locked, if I decide to go in, I'm potion unlocking the right side, and I'm getting everything out of there that I can, no exceptions. If I make that choice, I'm going all the way. But yeah, I would do pod in this scenario in the hopes of there's just a bow here, and I can knock both these up quick.
Yep. Because the game can and will do that.
Right. So, worst case scenario, okay, cool, I have the big key for when I come back. I was going to have to find this anyway. And I just use that to justify my choice, regardless how sad it makes me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see Craze just cutting through the back of Skullwoods here with that fire rod. Half magic doing the Lord's work. Gonna fall in and finish this dungeon boss off as well.
Yeah, Butter Sword not hurting either. Well, the fun fact is actually in the vanilla game, if you get your Butter Sword before you get if you get Butter Sword before you get to Moth, you can't actually damage Moth with the Butter Sword because of the way the spikes are coded. So they had to change that in rando so you could actually do this.
Things you learn in the randomizer that you had no idea playing this game as a kid.
Absolutely.
I didn't know that.
I sure didn't either. Ear and flute to 6 as expected here for Crazed. And that is crystal number 2 for Amarith. Oh yeah, I forgot hammer pegs exists. I can't do that. I, for some reason, think he should be going that way, but that is one of a couple of overall checks that are just terrible to get to that are available to us. Ether tablets, well no, Method Ether tablet, but is that Graveyard Ledge is kind of terrible at this point. No fake power for you today, though, because we had to turn in that mushroom for a moon pearl.
Amarith's going to use the power of reading to check this tablet. This is going to be very interesting if this is something required to see when Crazed gets back to this check.
Yep.
Nope.
And no. Book is in Waterfall Fairy.
And it's trash.
It absolutely is. To that effect, by the way, head's dead unless it's boots. Or maybe a bow, I think, because with our this is pendant layout. Because we're missing boots, or missing boots, cane, a bow, and ether for go mode, and we need cane and ether for TR, which is a pendant.
Could you imagine ped boots? Ugh. That would be awful.
It would. Oh hey, we do have an interesting choice here. So Amarith is going into Pendant Swamp with her items. This is very interesting given she doesn't have a hammer. She can... Specky Cliff, I'm just not sure this is where I would want to sequence break without a hammer. Given your hammer's the thing you're looking for progression right now. Crazed is going to the exact same place, so this could pay off, or this could be an equally big time sink for both runners, but I'm a little curious why Amarith's in here.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too. Amarith, having come down here to do Bombo's tablet, probably thinks, well, I'm here, I'll just do this anyway. I can specky clip. I don't need a hammer. I know the hammer's not going to be here, but maybe you find something that tells you where the hammer isn't. We know where it is, so it's not much of an advantage, but the other side of that coin is if Crazed pulls something like a bow out of here, it's a very strong possibility they just leave. Like, that's good enough for me to be in here. I don't need to see anymore. I'm going to take this bow and do something else with it. Whereas Amarith is going to full clear this dungeon.
Absolutely. In Earth's position, you've come all the way here. You might as well go get as much as you can out of this. I do love the greatest attorney MSU, sorry. Recently played the games not too long ago, earlier this year. And so far, Swamp just being Swamp. Really nothing much of interest in here. Like the meme, we cannot find a sword in here, we've already got all 4 of them. And Crazed, interestingly, is good to skip left side, is heading straight to the back. is. Okay, that's a powder.
Nice bomb diver down there by Crazed.
Very nice. There's the big key. That powder the only thing so far here in Swamp Palace, which is only one check. Hard record for that one check because of where our moon pearl was on the powder on the shroom turn-in, sorry. And never mind. Okay.
Oh
that's
yeah.
Required Swamp Palace. We need those boots.
Yeah, with plenty of options, Craze definitely making the right call coming into Swamp when they had other things they could have done that all would have been defendable. But yeah, definitely, it's good. They've got to be feeling good about that play.
In this case, a good play, the right play, in that this paid out. It made sense too. Like having gotten boots locked out of desert and ether locked out of mire, not wanting to dip pot without a bow. And it really doesn't feel like looking Ice Palace without a cane. Swamp made sense as the next play for you, Crazed.
Yeah, and I feel like you could have made arguments either way for a lot of things. But yeah, coming into Pendant Swamp, pulling those boots. Now, they know that there's 2 items on the left and 1 in the big chest, but I don't know that you come back in. Boots is a pretty good pull. That could be enough just to get them to leave. We know there's nothing, well, potentially nothing on the left side. Powder notwithstanding.
Yeah, powder is 1 check. Swamp big chest is 1 check, and it does look like Craze is just gonna play it safe and go back in, which is also a defensible play.
Very nice kill with the ice rod on the Amarith side. Oh, wow.
Okay, that's a location for cane.
Yeah, that's enough.
Craze is now
That's
very
enough
happy
to leave.
he went back in.
Oh, Amarith.
And, I get it, it's 1 item for Amarith. On the other hand, that's a really, really required cane.
Yeah, if I'm Amarith, I do the same thing. It's 1 item, and I pulled like boots out of a pendant dungeon I shouldn't have been in. Like I'd be leaving too. So that's rough. Craze thinking better of it though. Is gonna go back in for the 2 items left.
Yeah, it really, really doesn't want to leave them behind, just in case, which I probably would have left them behind myself, but I can see wanting to play safe here. And I get it too for Amarith skipping that cane. Unfortunately, that is going to be a hard last location, most likely. Amarith really doesn't have a reason to go back to Pendant Swamp anytime soon. I'm gonna switch the audio back to Amarith, and I'm also gonna refresh the stream because I realized we've gotten quite a bit of delay built up. Apologies for the minor buffering while we see. Left side swamp for Crazed, and the back of desert for Amarith. And I'd refresh your comments page as well, Taylin. Yes, happy 1 hour, everyone.
What's Crazed looking for over here?
That's a good question, actually.
Oh, hammer pegs. I wonder if they're just gonna do the north like bonk checks as well.
Hammer pegs, magic bat, and I was thinking actually, yeah, the north dark world checks, which would clean up some stuff. Because admittedly, boots doesn't actually open up much besides desert, which, as we just saw from Amarith, was the snooze. And this is Amarith, I think, effectively last locationing that hammer is. There's our bow on hammer pegs. So never mind North Dark World. You're gonna go turn in Magic Bat and get out of here. Time for Pod Eastern.
Yeah, I agree. And another good thing this does is it eliminates TR from having anything of significance, so we never have to worry about that dungeon now.
Yep. Because Crazed's Go mode is now that ether. Yeah, Amarith trying to put off areas to hopefully full clear them just is biting her in the butt today as we get our last bottle on Magic Bat.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if some of the, I don't know that I want to say unusual routing, but routing that Amarith has chosen to do had anything to do with their record in this group, and potentially thinking I'm going to make some unusual plays because I can to protect against a weird kind of situation. And yeah, it just, nothing worked.
No, unfortunately, this is just... Yeah, I hate to say it, but, and I hate to call it this early, but, Crazed has a pretty solid lead, I would say, here at the hour 3 mark. But
Yeah.
that bow now is just an ether from Go mode, and there's a very good chance it's just on the way somewhere here, whether that's in Pod, Desert. I mean, Crazed also just has everything to do, whatever. What isn't a ton left in the game, actually.
Yeah, Amarith knows what a fire rod is, and we'll get it after that as well, and then hopefully check hammer peg so they're in that area to get their bow and fire up. But even if they do, they still have to finish off Skullwoods, and then come into Pod Eastern area, where by the time they get there, Crazed will be done, if not most of the way done.
And that's not even considering the cane, which will be a hard last location for Amarith and the Swamp Big Chest. And that play I do get of skipping the cane, having done left side swamp before the back, which had the big key, and the big chest is just one check. Unfortunately, that one check has a tendency to be required, and it is today. Yeah, so I was thinking there's not actually that many places left for Ether. As we're hard locked out of both Moira and TR. I think Phrase is going to rush Helm. I think he got the big key already, so he's going to see if Ether's just on that. And I guess I'm actually going to go check big key chest on the way to the right side. Which is fine as well. Not the most efficient routing, but he has a lot of time to spare. Unfortunately, Amarith is more than a little bit behind right now. As, is this Spike Key for Amarith?
It is an interesting kind of like one-off check that may get saved to last. That if they pull the ether and get to the rest of their go mode, it could help them. But the Canis Samaria, we have to just admit, is a glaring like red light in Amarith's path, whether they are aware of it or not.
Absolutely. The front is a whole lot of keys, unsurprisingly, and Spike Cave is not our ether. Actually, we didn't get the big key in the front, and I'm a scatterbrain, so. This is King's Tomb for Amarith. Nothing in pod so far for Craze, but there's also just not much of anything left to find in this seed. We've got both boomerangs, all bottles, all swords, both canes, both rods, 2 out of 3 medallions. We apparently have no shields, which is vaguely interesting, but there's just not much left to find.
Yeah, every chest that Crazed opens, they're just hoping to see that last coin so they can just finish this up. Worst case scenario, it's in Ice Palace. Okay, I mean, that's just kind of how this thing could potentially go, but you're going to clear pod and go to the boss, you're going to go finish Eastern, and then you're still not going to have much to do, so Ice is not far in the future if that is the case.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Never mind, there we go.
Alright, we're just... okay then. Also, wait, did I miss? I thought Eastern was a red crystal, but Amarith just got the big red bomb. So I must have misread the map earlier. Huh.
Yeah, it was Desert and Hera.
Okay. Oops.
Nice bomb too by Amarith, though. Very well done.
Very nicely done, yep. Okay, well. Yeah, that's, go mode for crates with ether in the back of pod, so it's just going to beat pod, go mode Mire and Desert, and then go to GT. Boom coming here for Amarith. Like, she will pick up her item. She's gonna pick up her bow. She already knows her fire rod's on Bumper Ledge. It's gonna be able to clear Pod, Eastern, and Skull Woods. The issue, unfortunately, is that cane.
Yeah, as far as bad luck goes, I mean, at least because of the final item being the cane, Amarith still cannot get sucked into TR. which is a good thing, but may get sucked into a position where they get pulled into mire looking for the cane.
Oh, I was commenting on how we had no shields earlier. Well, there's our first on Helma.
Nice call, Star.
And, alright then, we're in full no mode. Grizz is in full go mode. Pending the GT Big Key placement, of course. How long do you think what the finish time will be on this one?
Yeah, I was just thinking, hour 11 in go mode with 2 to go. It's not terrible considering how stretched out this scene really felt in the beginning.
Having go mode, Mire and having go mode Mire and never touching TR and Ice would help a lot with that.
Yeah. Well, and then, yeah, but making the decision to go into Swamp, despite having other options, really made a great call there, and it's paying in spades now.
Absolutely.
I could see it. I could see this being sub 90 minutes.
Yeah, if the GT Big Key is nice, this could be. GT Big Key and Mire Big too, because Craze does have to find that. We've not seen Mire at all, so we don't know where the Big Key is. Amarith going to Clear Skull Woods. She should know that she does not need to check the pedestal here, though she could. There is absolutely nothing that could be on there for her, given that she is a Cade and Ether from Go Mode. But in terms of what this does for the group here, assuming nothing goes absolutely haywire for Craze to the next 20 minutes or so, this is looking like Crazed will probably move to 3-3, and Amarith will drop to 3-3 as well, which means we get a game 3. Which that will have to be played sometime this week here. I think we get an extra week for tiebreakers, and the winner of that moves on to brackets, essentially.
Yeah, we started this match with a very clear definition of what needed to be done. Craze needed to win to force a game 3. Amarith was through in any other scenario, and yet here we are. So, yeah, again, barring anything absolutely ridiculous happening, Craze is going to do the work and force a game 3.
Yep.
We like tiebreakers. Tiebreakers means more Zelda. We're fine with that.
Oh yeah, this is in fact, this will, yeah, again, those things get really, really weird. Be our, actually one of 2 tiebreakers we got in groups, plus the, because, spoilers for a race earlier today on ZSR, we do actually have a tiebreaker race in Group D as well, between Captain 1977 versus Lucien Greeth, also playing for second in their group. That is scheduled for tomorrow at 2 PM Eastern. We'll be putting that on one of the ZSR channels, and we are looking for a crew to put that race on. We'll also be trying to get these guys on whenever that Game 3 happens. And we do have a 3-way bye race as well between the 3 best record first place finishers in groups. Iron Gamer, Duke Firebird, and IB Karma all finished 6-0 in their respective groups, and the 3 of them will be playing a 3-way race at some point this week to determine which 2 out of the 3 get a bye in the first round of brackets.
Hey, Star.
Hmm?
Just want to let you know I signed up for the 2 o'clock tomorrow.
Oh, nice, thank you. And of course, I know the main tournament's ongoing as well over on the Speed Gaming family of channels, and they've got a whole bunch of matches left and at least 1 or 2 tie breaks over there. And there's plenty of other stuff going on CSR besides. I'll give a bit more of a rundown on the schedule at the end of the restream, but there's quite a lot happening here.
Yeah, always plenty going on in the rando world, and we appreciate places like CSR to be able to put these on and get these runners a little more visibility.
Absolutely. Okay, not too bad. A 2-cycle there on Lamos for Crazed. And that is crystal number 6. At this point, I think it'd have to be a Godmire and very fast GT Big Key to be a sub 130, but it'll be a sub 140, pretty sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a chance for it, especially if it's a Godmire that can get us up into GT pretty fast. Admittedly, I had forgotten that Craze still needed to do Desert, but still a possibility. We can still do it. I believe in them.
Math is also just a little bit hard in terms of how long dungeons take. ALttPR is not my main game, so OTR is my main randomizer. I'm also pretty active in Z2R and I'm around the Minish Cap randomizer as well.
Z2R, you say?
Yep, Zelda.
Hey, I have a standard turning on right now too. Yeah,
yes,
I'm in it.
Oh yeah, you're in it.
I'm in it. Let's just that's about the amount of my participation so far. It's been rough. Trying to learn that randomizer has been a struggle.
It's definitely a different rando for sure. It's well, C2 at the base game is very different from Zelda 1, its sister game in many respects, and from the rest of the series, and well, by default, so is the rando. It's pretty fun, but it is very challenging.
Alright, let's see if we can pull a Godmire here and Mire get Crazed moving on toward the end, or if they're gonna have to dig a little bit. Well, of course not. Not when you need it.
No. Just a map and a small key in the first 2 checks, so on we go. Grace gonna hope that the big key is not vanilla, wanting to try and save a bit of time here by doing map chest and lobby chest first. So that's a small key. Nice row clip.
Very nice, yep.
And map chest is our big key. All
There you go. Yep, great job. Yeah, avoiding that left side completely, especially that cutscene, is going to save a ton of time.
Hi, Swamp Palace, the user in chat, but left side's the best. I am sorry to inform you that while left side swamp had a powder today, it was not required. Magic Bat was, just our last bottle.
Alright, Amarith picking up their ether. Getting most of the keys to the puzzle, but... yeah. That's Samaria.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Amarith's Go-Mode King of Samaria is in the Swamp Palace big chest. Amarith did rush left side swamp when she went in there earlier, unfortunately did that before the back, which had the big key, and then didn't go back in for the big chest. Understandable since it was just one check. Unfortunately, as is a classic for the rando, the one check you don't do is the thing you need.
Yeah, and Amarith had gotten really aggressive with Swamp going in there. Independent Swamp without the hammer and the boots, feeling like a huge payoff, decided that's enough, I don't need more, which I get, like, 100% defensible. And unfortunately, yeah, that's just going to be the thing that breaks him.
Yeah.
Nice,
hey, Silvers,
bro.
Okay. Alright.
That is the scene I have commentated today where Victory has had a bow. Which is just the greatest mockery, because that's the thing that really would have made that fight go fast.
I was just thinking that's about the one thing that Craze would like to see still. Alright, that is 7 crystals down for crazdgamer. Do you want to do a really speedy little numbers game here?
Yeah, let's do it. There are 22 checks possible within Ganon's Tower basement. Or Ganon's Tower, good lord. Yeah, actually, wait, yeah, right. Ganon's Tower basement, haha. That could have the big key that we need to finish the scene. If you want to participate, put numbers in chat, and we may acknowledge you if we have time and notice. I will say it's 4.
I went with 14. We see a 13 from Swamp Palace and a 22 from Twin Dragons of Chaos there in chat. And a section from Doogie MacGyver as Amarith picks up her 6th crystal. Really, I have to imagine Amarith will be going over to back to Swamp eventually. There's only so much left of the game.
Well, they can go into Mire looking for the French vanilla or vanilla cane, and they can go to Ice Palace.
Oh yeah, true. Never mind. Right. Yeah, it'll be a while. And really have seen just about everything. We're missing 2 shields and a sword and a shovel, and that's I think that is it.
Yeah. I guess Red Mail's sitting there somewhere. Nice bird toss by Amarith.
No, Red Mail's in the Lake Island.
Oh yeah, good shout.
And speaking of shields, there's one.
That's the second time you've spoken shield into existence, Star. I'm just saying.
Okay, I mean, yeah, okay, Gabe's got jokes. Also, I love this theme here we've got for GT on the Created Ace Attorney MSU. This one is going to be the Dance of Deduction music, I believe.
Alright, we see Craze going into GT. Gonna push a full right. See if they want to go all the way to Ice Armos with this right. I assume they'll probably just go back left after the compass room.
Yeah, it would be a bold play to go full right, yeah. See, check 3, check 4, check 5, and check 6 is all not it. I am sorry, Talon, but you lost the game today.
As long as it's not in double firebar, I'm a winner no matter what. Though my prediction for a sub 90 minute looking like it's going to go to the wayside.
I believe at this point it's officially dead. Line plus Ganon is too long. even if the big key is in here. Which, check 8, check 9. 10 is the big key. And I think by Price is Right rules, Doogie MacGyver with a guess of 6 wins is the closest without going over. I mean, Tom, I can't say I'm entirely surprised for context of tracker. Tomotalk is actually double booked himself in his tracking and no creative time randomizer race at the same time as this. That one's for their equivalent of the beginner trophy, basically, and that seed, I guess, is a bit of a doozy.
Had I known, I would have tracked this and Comp at the same time, Tom, but woof, man. Shout out to Tomotalk for doing the tracking.
Absolutely, and this shoutouts to our crew today. As in general here, give both of our runners a follow, crazdgamer and Amarith, as well as Taylor, my co-com, and to Tomotalk, who is doing quite a lot of tracking. Ouch, Tom. I'm not see the road here.
I don't know anything about that game, so I can't tell you if that's bad or good.
Kinda like, that's a hard one to come with a media comparison for.
Yeah, that's fair, Tom.
Yeah, and at any rate, we're focusing on this race, so I'm not gonna distract too much from that. Here, as we are in the gauntlet, crazdgamer taking a quick detour to the refill room there to get a health refill.
Yeah, and Amarith coming to the end of Mire, not finding what they need now. It's gonna have to dig around a little bit trying to find it. Yeah, the Stalfo's not playing nice for Craze. Just pulls up the fire rod and says enough of this.
And unsurprisingly, this is Ice Palace for Amarith.
Yeah, this makes sense. Once they left Swamp, that had to become a lost location at that point.
Yeah. And again, perfectly defensible, just not the answer today.
You know what? I'm fine with this. Stopping by the upgrade fair, treat yourself. It's alright.
Ammo 2 down for Crazed. We're just gonna run straight up with tower. We've got the keys, we don't need to open any chests. Grace has 13 hearts, blue mail, silvers, butter, and half magic. We're fine.
Yeah, our runners are all but invincible at this point, so...
Nice Ice Palace bomb jump for Amarith. Aka2 not cooperating with Crazed. At all.
Yeah, these are not great patterns.
No.
Yeah, nice double.
Does get a double. Ah, speaking of gross patterns. I think that was something like a 6-cycle Aka2. I wasn't quite counting, but that was not a friendly one, but does take him down.
Yeah, I wonder how much of it is just nerves kind of playing into it. Like you're just waiting for your opponent to finish at this point.
Absolutely, it's an hour 31 into an open seed. You have to be thinking that your opponent might be right behind you.
Yeah, the rando way is just to assume you've done everything wrong and your opponent has done everything right, and they're seconds away from finishing. But Craze, little do they as they know, very commanding lead at this point.
Yeah, I assume Amarith must have figured out that Ice Palace is K-Lock because she is out of there.
May have just pulled the first 3 items and knows the pet is dead.
That's also possible. I was paying more attention to Craze GT, I'll be honest, than
same, exactly. Yep, same. Amarith having the shovel, gonna go do this check as well.
Oh yeah, she found the shovel in ice. That one thing we didn't have before that.
So last shield, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
Just I'm not Star. Apparently, is what it is.
Last shield is probably in TR or the rest of GT.
There can only be one.
Okay, one arrow left here for Crazed. Did get the Quartz Glitch, not that he needed it, and this is... No, okay, I can't count. There we go.
Alright, now do it.
And that is going to be GG's here to crazdgamer, who's going to finish it up and take us to a game 3. With an official racetime.gg time of 1:33:22. And Amarith heading into Swamp here is going to find her go mode shortly.
Yeah, this unfortunate walk of shame of there's nothing left, it has to be here. Yeah, there it is.
Yep. And Amarith is going to throw in the towel, understandably. GG's to her as well, and we will be getting both runners in for an interview. Hello there, GG.
Hello.
Thank you.
So, initial impressions on this seed?
I hate it.
Wasn't a fan. I felt like there was no time in that seed at all that I felt good about it.
The only time I felt good was when I found the boots.
Yeah, that was good. I mentioned it in the race room, but I went into Swamp, I got the boots, cool. And what I usually do is if I don't see the big key in the front, I'll go to the back, clear it, and then I'll make the decision whether to go back and just get the big chest and left side. Getting the big chest got the Cane of Samaria, and I mirrored out, but I forgot I didn't have ether, so I'm like, oh, Kingsmari doesn't do anything by itself. Go back in. And that was a powder, which I'm like, cool. I can go to Magic Bat and also clean up hammer pegs, and that led me to the bow. So that was a nice little like sequence of events that led me to the right path. It just wasn't directly the correct path.
Yeah, you guys had wildly diverging routes. There were two major points where you converged. One was on that oh so lovely Moon Pearl, and the other was in Swamp House. The exception there being that Mara did one side to then the back and skipped the big chest, and you did the opposite thing, more or less crazed.
Yeah, I really didn't want to go into Eastern, and I'm guessing that was the same. So yeah, that was just like, I don't want to go into Eastern because that's a double dip, and turns out that was required. So oops.
It's just one item. What could possibly be there? I already got the boots.
For Swamp, yeah. Yeah, we both went when we saw that on restream. It's like, oh, good fight for Grace, then oh no for Amarith.
Mario's apparently the bane of my existence lately.
Yeah. Man, but yeah, seems otherwise kind of linear in some ways. That you both got hard railroaded into hard blast location to Burl. Um, Paradox Cave was loaded today, and then you had to go Pendant Swamp.
Yeah, my decision was like, all right, it's swamp or mountain. And as I was making that decision, I was like, okay, well, TR's a pendant, so I could just leave that. I don't have to worry about, finding the hammer, finding King of Samara. Just go up there when it's a good opportunity to. And I'm like, okay, let's do that. And I had to make the decision between leaving Spike Cave or Spiral Cave, and I'm like, all right, well, Spiral Cave is like a last location if I ever need to do it. Luckily, I didn't need to, but I'm just like, okay, Mountain is a place I have to go at some point because the only other time I'm going to go up there is for Ganon's Tower. So get up there as soon as it's available.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you never did get the book. I realized that was Waterfall Fairy.
Yeah, I wanted to do Zora as soon as it was in Logic, and I just left Waterfall Fairy. In our previous race, Zora had the goods, and we both left it behind until way late. So I'm like, let's just do this right now, just in case. But yeah, otherwise it was fine. Just a little bit of nervous towards the end, being on restream and such. But otherwise it was fine.
Yeah, it was interesting at the start there because like Amarith took some interesting plays. I know we saw you do the same play, same opener yesterday, Amarith, where you went Uncle straight into the first check of the front of escape, and then you bit off Cack for a good while there, which didn't really pay off. But then again, there really wasn't a whole lot of anything in the first 15 minutes, so you ended up just bunching up together at Eastern eventually.
Yeah, it was a really, really dry early game. It was just like, where's the items? I got plenty of health and this blue mail. It's like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
the blood
all right,
match.
I'm on like 9 hearts blue. All right, I guess we're good this seed.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. And otherwise, I think I'm about out of questions. How about you, Talon?
Yeah, I just want to give both of you a good shout out. You did a really good job with this one, and yeah, with the linear nature of it, it really made it kind of string along. But both of you did very well.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for what it's worth.
Yeah, very excited to see another tiebreaker. Interested to make sure we can try to get that on for you. So definitely let us know when that's gonna to take place, and we'll give it one more go around.
Yeah, we'll schedule that at some point.
Yeah, I want to say you've got like a week more or less to schedule it. I know that the Group D tiebreaker is tomorrow at 2 Eastern, and I think the buy race is going to be sometime during the week, was the last I checked. Um, yeah, so just get that on the schedule, and good luck to you both for that.
Thank you, and GG's Amarith.
Yep, GG's.
But I think that's going to be it here from us then. Any last thoughts before I take us out, Talon?
Nope, just want to give the runners a shout out, and also want to shout out our tracker Tom Talk, who is doing all the work tonight. Thanks everyone.
Absolutely, and thank you, Talon here. Yep, to put the links there in the chat to follow everyone, as well as check out the ZSR schedule. We've got quite a lot of stuff going on here. We are done for the night tonight. Tomorrow we are starting off the day at bright and early at 8 a.m. Eastern. Please keep in mind that the daylight savings ends tomorrow morning for North America there. But we do start off the day with the Majora's Mask Randomizer Standard Challenge Cup 2024 match. We've also got the Wind Waker Challenge Cup, Minish Cap 80%, and Wind Waker, Wind Waker Link to Past All Dungeons RMG. And most notably, the first tiebreaker for the ALttPR Challenge Cup here. That is Group D between Captain 1977 versus Lucy and Greeth, who will be playing each other to determine who moves on to brackets in second place of that group. So we hope to see you all on one of the ZSR channels tomorrow there. Channel to be decided. It will be on one of ZSR 1 through 4, and we hope to see you all then, as well as for the tiebreaker race between these two runners here, Crazy and Amarith, and the bye race as well, which will be taking place this week. For now, that will be it here for us tonight. Thanks for watching, everyone. We're going to send you over to someone playing some more LTDPR, and we'll see you all another time.